Howdy, it's Uncle Paul. It's Saturday. I've been sick all week. I'm feeling a little bit better, and so I decided to get out of the house for just a while. Well, I drove over to Temple, Texas, just a neighboring town not too far away at all, and I was going to show you guys the house where right out in front of this house in Temple, back in 1932, Clyde Barrow shot and murdered a guy for his car. But the original house, which I've seen about 6 or so years ago, it's no longer there. They tore it down and built a duplex. So it didn't happen in the house, but it happened right in front of the house. It'd been neat to see the original house. So here's what happened. In 1932, Bonnie and Clyde, along with a young man by the name of W.D. Jones, they left Dallas to make a foray further south into Texas, and they ended up in Temple needing more money. They tried to rob a grocery store, but that didn't work out as planned, and so W.D. Jones decided he just wanted to go back to Dallas. So they drove around Temple trying to find the right car for him to do that. And so they wound up in front of the house at 606 South 13th Street, which is right where this newly built duplex is today. And they found the car. Bonnie dropped the boys off. She drove down around the corner to wait for them. So Clyde and W.D. were trying to start the car. It was cold, and this was Christmas Day, a little after 2 o'clock on a Sunday. And family members of the house, the Johnson family, saw what was going on. They came running out. Clyde pulled his handgun and made them back off. Someone woke up Mr. Johnson, who'd been sleeping on the couch. He came running he jumped on the running board and started grabbing at Clyde, and Clyde stuck the pistol up in his ribs. Mr. Johnson knocked the pistol away. The first shot went into the car somewhere. There were two more shots. One went into the wall of the house. The other one hit Mr. Johnson in the neck, severed his spine. He collapsed right there on the curb and eventually died. And they finally got the car started, drove around the corner to where Bonnie was waiting, got in the car with her, and they took off. Of course, there's Clyde Barrow, but this is W.D. Jones, and he was caught a year to year and a half later, and he admitted that he and Clyde were the ones who stole the car, but of course said that Clyde is the one who shot and murdered Mr. Johnson. Okay, so this is some milk, and that's a piece of garlic toast that sat out all night, and I'm letting it soak a little bit, and that's going to be a treat for Hurley. Okay. All right. Hold on. There we go. All right. Can you take it out? There you go. Right out into the dirt in the leaves. Enjoy. Well, it is nearly 8:30 Saturday evening, and it is still 95 degrees out here, and I'm feeling pretty good. I kind of did a number of things today, got out and about, and I'm still feeling pretty good, so that's a good sign. And I'm glad I was sick this week, because next week, my sister-in-law, my brother, will probably go with her. Her company, they have this convention that she goes to every year, and so they'll be gone most of this next week. So Uncle Paul is going to be in charge, so to speak, in charge of the boys. Matt's about to turn 23, Reagan's 21, Ethan's 19, but they still they still need some supervision at times. So I'm gonna have to be on call. Uncle Paul is on call all next week, so I'm gonna have to be at the top of my game. But now, thankfully, they're all three working jobs, and all three going to be going back and to school. They're still, Matt's still got some schooling he's wanting to do, and now, with me, I'm going to be. I've got 2 college classes that I've signed up for. Those start on the 26th. And I don't know when my job, as far as substituting, I don't know when that starts exactly. The school year starts before Labor Day, but I won't work probably till after Labor Day. I probably won't take any substitute jobs. So it's going to be busy times around here. Okay, so now I'm going to go inside and watch Bandolero. I hadn't watched that in a long time. Dean Martin, Jimmy Stewart, Raquel Welch, George Kennedy, and the list goes on and on. So I'm going to go in and enjoy that. Good Sunday morning, everybody. Well, for a long time, I've been slightly fascinated by Bonnie and Clyde for a couple of reasons, I guess. One, when I was a little kid, there was a carnival or a fair or a store promotional opening for, grand opening from the store, or something in Killeen where I grew up. And we went to it. And one of the things they had there to see was the actual car that Bonnie and Clyde were in when they were killed. And it was all shot up, all the holes in it. And I remember everybody making a big deal about that. But I also remember a story from one of my uncles. He was much older than my dad, but he had this story where he thought had seen Bonnie and Clyde, and my uncle was one who spent a lot of time outdoors, working, for one thing, farming, but hunting and fishing, and just as a boy that he just was outdoors, all the time, playing with his friends and stuff in the countryside. So it sounded legitimate to me. It always has. And there were other sightings of Bonnie and Clyde, of course. And but so I kind of had a little bit of a fascination with that story, and for other reasons. But ever since I bought this book a long time ago called Bloody Bell County here. Got a lot of interesting stories, but that particular story about Bonnie and Clyde was in this book. But what kind of got this all up in my mind again recently was the show, the movie, the made for Netflix movie recently, and that was more accurate than movies of the past to the story and everything. So anyway, I just kind of thought, well, ever since I saw that movie on Netflix, I thought, well, I'm going to go see that house again. But sure enough, it's not there anymore. But okay, well, now it's time. I'm not looking forward to this, but it's time to go get on the scale. Okay, so last week I weighed 383.8, and this week I'm up 0.2 to 384, so I gained 0.2. So it's kind of what I expected, but a little disappointed. But I've been here before. It's not a big deal. I've been going in a good direction lately, so and there's reason for it. The reason for it, I haven't hardly done a thing. I just haven't felt like it. But I've still got coughing and stuff that's going on. But this morning I do feel even a little bit better, so I know I'm on the mend. I'm looking forward to having a better week, a more productive week, and things are going to be really rolling here, like I said, in a couple of weeks with school and work and all that. So I'm looking forward to trying to get things a little bit more normal around here. Well, anyway, guys, thank you. I hope y'all have had a great week. I hope you too are looking forward to this next week, and I hope you comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next week.